Hello, one. Once again, all praises, honor, and glory unto the Most High, Yahweh Ba'asham, Yahweh Ba'asham, Rakakwadash, double honors to the elders and the apostles of the Great Millstone, and salutations to all you sincere Akiam. And this is your brother Abawan back again with another video through the praise and power of Yahweh Ba'asham, Yahweh Ba'asham, Rakakwadash. All praises and glory is due, especially in the times that we're in. And the only thing I can say is the rage bait worked, man. The rage bait worked. Okay, so the title of this video is going to be the Esan and the Edo are Israelites, right? Because you have this bug out right here that is basically trying to push the narrative that Esau Edom is the so-called red man, right? As like Esau Edom, the so-called red man, are black people. And let me just play a little bit of the video so you can hear the foolishness for yourself. Let's go to school. And already you can already you already know this guy is a complete bug out, right? Because you see the hand pointing at the dome, right? I usually see the hand pointing at the dome, which is allegedly, right, a Freemasonic hand sign, basically basically a Freemasonic hand sign, symbolism and the like. But let's play the video. I'm about to prove to you and show you that these people right here who are claiming that they're Esau and Edom are not Edomites. These are not the correct. And that's the first deception right there, because the so-called white man and the so-called Jew have never claimed to be Esau Edom. In fact, quite the contrary. Rather, they have claimed and tried their best to frame themselves as the Israelites, especially the small hearts, right? And even Esau Edom, for the most part, they say that they are Japhites, Japhet, because they took over the land of Japhet and living in Europe, okay, because the original inhabitants of Europe are not so-called white people. First and foremost, they're not even so-called white, they are red because their blood shows forth through their skin. But the original inhabitants of Europe are not so-called white people. Rather, they are Japhet, right? The dark-skinned people that were in Europe prior to being taken over by Esau Edom. So your Etruscans, your Minoans, and the like, and even Jake as well, right? Because a lot of the original European tribes, right, were Israelites. Your Irish, the Gaelic, the Vikings, the Norse, right? The original Anglo-Saxon, which are the British Isles, the original Germanics, even the original Russians. A lot of them were dark skinned, they were Jake basically. But Esau Edom took it all over through a phrase we now know to be, La Raza. I've forgotten how the Spanish say that, but basically make the race white, right? Or blanqueamiento. The same thing that happened in South America. That's why you see a lot of Northern Kingdom now look, lighter skinned and almost look like straight up Edomites, right? But let's keep playing the video. This is a bug out right here, man. And the reason I'm doing this video is because of how infuriated I was from listening to this bullshit, right? He came out as I speaking about, different tribes here in Nigeria. Now, of course, I'm not from the Edo tribe, neither am I from the Esan tribe, but Esan people, that doesn't mean that, I still wasn't pissed, because I'm Igbo, like I always say, I'm Igbo, right? And the major tribes in Nigeria, hey, best metal smiths in the West. But the Edo tribe, the Edo tribe and the Esan tribe, they're basically the same people. Because if you go into the history, right, the Esan tribe split from the Edo tribe. That was a long time ago. But they are still Jake, man. They are still Jake, right? Because the Edo people are, the first Benin kingdom, not to be confused with the country that is Benin, because it is a state, okay, here in Nigeria called Benin as well, where the Edo people are. And that's what Esau calls the kingdom, right? The Benin kingdom, which had, great terracotta, right? Palm oil, the yeah, if he even goes into it in his video, right? That red clothing that you see them wear, that's the Benin traditional attire, right? And it was a major kingdom here in West Africa, really advanced. They had they had really advanced. They had horses and all that stuff for the it's a medieval kingdom, right? But let's keep playing I don't think we even need to play any more of the video, but we have to still play it anyway, just for him to get to the main point where he says that he believes that Esau Edom are so-called black people. But let's play the video. The Edomites are black. And there he said this, right? So now let's go and see what these scriptures actually say, because I, as well as my other brothers and the elders and the apostles of the great millstone, only deal in the scriptures, right? As the scriptures say, we do not follow the word of men's wisdom, but rather what the scriptures have said. So we already know about the scriptures, and we know the account that the scriptures give about the birth of Esau Edom. Now this is the book of Genesis 25. Let's go and get, yeah, here it is right here. So this is the book of Genesis 25 verse 19. And these are the generations of Isaac, Abraham's son. Abraham begat Isaac, and Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife, the daughter of Bethuel the Syrian, of Padan Aram, the sister of Laban the Syrian. And Isaac entreated Yahweh for his wife, because she was barren, and Yahweh was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived. And the children struggled together within her, and she said, if it is so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of Yahweh, right? So she had twins, okay? And the children struggled together within her, which is of course a major, foreshadowing, okay? A major foreshadowing into how these two twins, how these two people shall be. So now, Genesis 25, verse 23, and Yahweh said unto her, two nations are in thy womb, and two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other, and the elder shall serve the younger. And this is a major verse in this precept, right? Because it says, two nations are in thy womb, and two manner of people, right? So that's right, this right there already debunks, already disproves, kills all this nonsense that he's speaking right here. Because he saw the Apostle Tahar recently do a video about how the Dominicans, which is a tribe in Israel, right, Simeon, and so many other different countries that you have in the Americas, right, different groups of or tribes of Jake that you have in the Americas originates from Nigeria. And even I did a video as well, going into that as well, because yeah, it is just facts, man. And guess what? The Edo that he claims to be Edom and the Esan that he claims to be Esau are two tribes that are in Nigeria, and they're not like the major tribes like the Igbo and the Yoruba and the Hausa, but they are still a very prominent tribe in Nigeria. That's one of the, if after the Igbo, Yoruba, and Hausa, right, the Edo are one of the major tribes in Nigeria. Fourth, fifth, sixth. They're one of the next major tribes in Nigeria, because you have a lot of Edo people in this Nigeria. Like for example, if you know this Nigerian Afrobeat singer Rema, he's from the Edo people, right? They are next up, okay? So the scriptures are clearly showing that the Most High, however, Hashem Yahushai, separated and made a difference between Esau and Jacob, to the point where the children of the descendants of Edomites cannot dwell together with the descendants of Jacob and be basically seen as the same people, which is what he's saying that is happening right now. Because you want to say that, oh, there is a certain tribe here in Nigeria that are Edomites, right? Okay, then what about the other tribes? Don't you know that there were Edo people, lots of Edo people, by the way, because the British themselves, they are the ones that sacked the kingdom of Benin and took out people as slaves and took out a lot of their artworks and artifacts. That's why if you go to if you watched the movie Black Panther, right, the first Black Panther, when Killmonger was in that museum, all those artifacts that you saw in that museum were from the Edo Kingdom, right? The majority of the most prominent artifacts you see when it comes to speaking about the West African artifacts that were stolen from the British Museum, right, that were stolen from West Africa and put in like the British Museum and all these European museums, they are from the kingdom, they are from the Edo people, okay? The Edo people are one of the few West African tribes that even have full plate of armor. Let me show you all something real quick. Let me show you all something real quick, right? Because these people that he's trying to push as Esau just because they are great warriors. Jake, our people are also great warriors as well, right? Esau's blessing isn't that he's a great warrior. Esau's blessing is the sword, weapon, killing instruments. That's what Esau's weapon and blessing is. Not that he's going to be a great warrior, okay? Let's get that straight. Don't confuse being a good killer, being good with weapons, with being a great warrior. This is what I'm talking about right here. All these artifacts you see are from the Edo Kingdom. The majority of the artifacts that you see that, oh, whenever they want to show stolen artifacts from Africa, right, or from West Africa, it's Edo Kingdom artifacts, because the British, right, they basically sacked the Edo Kingdom and took out all those artifacts, and of course took slaves as well, which eventually they sent to the Americas, right, that worked in the plantation. So a lot of Jakes can trace their ancestry back to this Edo Kingdom as well. So this is right here. All these artifacts you see, right? These are the more popular ones. These are all from the Edo Kingdom, by the way. All these artifacts you see here, like this mask, for example, is a very famous one that you've probably seen it everywhere. These are all from the Edo Kingdom, which is why it's all the more frustrating. And this dumbass Jake came out here and said this nonsense, right? Because when it comes to the major, African kingdoms that prove that we are the Israelites, the Edo is one of them, man. Because yeah, they don't have the culture that goes back to the Israel, right? They don't have the customs that you can prove that, but they have the greatness. They have basically it's talking about the greatness, the advancement that shows that Jake, was ruling in West Africa. And Jake was dominating in West Africa. This is like him coming out and saying the Mali Empire, right? Mansa Musa, the richest king in the world, the richest king according to Esau, which of course, the richest king was actually King Solomon, but according to Esau, right, was an Edomite. That's basically what he did right here. Taking one of the most prominent West African and even African kingdoms and turning them into Edomites because of some dumbass name, some dumbass pseudo etymology. Because that's what that is. It says, oh, if you take the Esau and you turn the U to an N, what kind of nonsense is that? Huh? What kind of nonsense is that? Especially when you understand the how to really get the true meaning of words, to get the root word. You not hear bullshit like, I hear that shit when I hear that shit when I almost threw my phone at the wall. Because what kind of nonsense am I listening to right now? And this is the kind of bug out nonsense that you see out here. But it's no different than what you hear in plantation Christianity talking about a virgin birth. Now wow. This is the most I can come quick enough to destroy you niggas, man. What the fuck is all this? Like, anyway, let's get back on topic. Let's get back on topic. Let's stop mourning about this. Let's stop mourning about this stupidity of our people, man. You really see why Aloja Awashai was always, you really see why Aloja Awashai was always pissed off at Jake, man. When you start hearing this nonsense, you see why you see why he was always pissed off at Jake, why he's always tired, why his patience was always wearing thin whenever it comes to dealing with Jake. Because imagine, the only land, man, and a broker comes out and says this kind of nonsense, I think those Sumerians, right, they are Edom, those Sumerians, right, those Hamites, they're actually Edomites, oh Lord of mercy. Let me even stop before a new doctrine now starts popping up. This is a new kind of demon, man. This is a new kind of demon out here. Anyway, let's keep reading this. So yeah, we stopped at the elder shall serve the younger. Now Genesis 25 verse 24. And when our days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in our womb. And the first came out red all over like an hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. Right. And the name Esau is an English translation of Esau, which is how the small heart say it, right? But of course, Esau is not the correct Hebrew. That's just their own version of the Hebrew, which is the Yiddish, using the Assyrian script. The correct way of saying Esau's name is Aisha or Aishashwa, which basically means he is wasted away. And if you go into the blue letter, right, and try to get the word for Esau to show you that I see what here for red is Adawam, right? But of course they use the Admoni. Esau is a damn devil, man. But let's get this to show you that Esau is a damn devil. You see, this is it right here. So this is the the Sha, and the Wa, Aisha, or Aishashwa, right? The the Sha, and the Wa. If you go into the Assyrian script, right, you will see that's basically what these letters represent. Sha, Wa, Aisha, or Aishashwa, right? Which basically means wasted away. But of course, they change it to be, oh, it's hairy. It's hairy. It's not hairy, man. It's wasted away, okay? But that's just how these devils operate, because the actual Edomites are the so-called white people, because they are the ones that are red all over at birth. Because if you look at a newborn Edomite baby, it's red like it's red, okay, because the blood is showing in the skin, because the skin is translucent, because the skin is translucent, because the skin does not have that pigment, that melanin. That's basically how Esau was born, right? So that doesn't mean that Esau was hairy at birth. No, it's a comparison. He is red all over like a hairy garment, like a dyed garment. Okay. Now, and this shows you that this doesn't mean that, and this shows you that, man, that is a bug out, man. That is a bug out, right? But this also shows you that it is this now speaking about a dark skinned group of people, because even the scriptures tell you, according to prophecy, that in the last days Esau Edom would be in power, right? In the last days that Esau would be in power. So how exactly are the Edo people in power? How are the Esan people in power? Okay, nobody knows who the hell the Edo are, or the Esan self. Except you're a Nigerian, or you really study African and Nigerian history. You're not going to know who the Edo or Esan people are. Let me get a quick preset, man. Shall we see the book of Job 9, verse 27? Job 9, verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked, right? Because the Esau Edom is the wicked, and they have been prophesied to be in rulership in the last days, right? Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. Who are the Esan rulers? Hell, when you go talk about the elite banking families, you don't even have a single so-called black person. Even the Hamites is not even a part of the elite banking families, right? Even a Tyre, right? A dark-skinned Edomite is not even a part of the elite banking families. They're all Esau, man. All so-called white people. Also called small hearts. So now, okay. If the so-called white man isn't now Esau Edom, then who exactly are the small hearts, right? Because this is when the J could now show you his full. If you ask that question, this is when that J can now show you his full, how much of a bug out he really is. You now say some bullshit like, oh, those are our brothers, one of the lost tribe. See, let me relax. Now talking about some of the small hearts are one of the. Let me not even finish that, man. Let me not finish that. Now, Job 9, verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof, if not, where and who is he? Right. And basically, the scriptures already gives you the entire breakdown of who exactly the wicked is. And all that is left for you to do is to just connect the dots, right? You just understand that this damn devil. This damn Yes, okay. Let me relax. Let me chill. I'm still getting heated up over this. Okay, we're still on. I'm still getting heated up over this. But that's when you realize this damn devil, man. This damn devil. The Esau Edom. That they are the ones that are in power, and they're the ones that are the wicked on the earth, right? Because what are the Esan and the Edo people doing that makes you even think that they could possibly be the wicked? Because there are criteria about this. There are ways in which the scriptures have given us the understanding in order to know who the wicked really are, and who Esau Edom really is. Because the fact that he's speaking about Esau Edom already proves that he's been watching the videos, and he knows what the scriptures say about Esau Edom, and he knows that Esau is going into slavery, right? And he knows that Esau are still alive and around today, okay? And that the Most High has already prophesied and to bring destruction upon them, like we teach. Not the nonsense that these Wakitaki plantation Christians teach that Esau is done away with, right? But then at the end of it all, he now says that, you know what? These Edo people, right? If you add M to the back of their name, it's Edom. Edo. Like I said, pseudo etymology, okay? Because first and foremost, Edom is, like I said, Edom. I already broken that down. Let me not go into that again. Right, so this is the book of 2nd Esdras 6 verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. The hand of man is betwixt the heel and the hand. Other questions, Esdras, ask not thou. Right, so we see the Israelites on the highways and byways. We see the Israelites featuring prominently in Bible prophecy as the prophets that are breaking down the Bible prophecy. But then when we now look at the Edomites, there are some random unknown tribe in Nigeria, right? Not even one of the major Nigerian tribes, one of the less unknown Nigerian tribes, right? Those are who the Edomites are. This is a complete bug out, man. This is a complete bug out, right? And this is just like it's like the other said, man. Anything just to get the so-called white man, right? Esau, the real Esau Edom, out of his judgment. But as the scripture says, "Do hand joined hand, the wicked shall not go unpunished." You can keep on trying to deflect and trying to push um, Esau out of the way of the indignation of the Most High, even throwing Israelites under the bus, right? It's not going to happen, man. The Most High Yahweh, you know, we already have the breakdown, we already have the understanding. The truth has already been brought out, right? And even these Esau Edom themselves, right? The so-called white man themselves, Esau themselves, are proving that they are the wicked, which the Bible speaks of. So this right here, so this video right here from this bug out is just exactly that, a video from a bug out, right? But it still has to be addressed by the men of the Lord all the same. So it's just another video from a bug out, another laughable video, you know, that you're not even supposed to really take it seriously because it's just rage bait. But man, I can't deal with this bullshit anymore. You know, they can't do this nonsense anymore, man. It looks like it's to come back and start taking you dumbass chicks out. Yeah, so with that, I'm going to end the video right there. Once again, all praises, honor, and glory unto the Most High Yahweh Basham Yahweh Basham Rakakwadash Wa Abad Babal Shalom. And through the Spirit, I hope you are and you are quite edified. Shalom.